Alright, let me just check in the back for you, see if we can find that.
Who really reads Rob Liefeld anymore? God, that guy just makes me cry every time I look at his comics. Oh my god.
Are you Victor Segura of Sector Comic Tunes and Toys?
Depends, are you Jeff Loeb?
You have the ability to show great knowledge in comic books.
Hmm?
You have been chosen for the Corps.
You got the touch. You got the power.
Have you seen the period piece Stomp the Yard? It's called Footloose, the remake.
Dude, have you seen that remake though? Like, I want to see that. Yeah.
No.
You want to?
Dude, yes. It looks like
Julianne Huff's hot though.
If you look at like by looking at it, I love that they actually it's not like a remake like what was the Dirty Dancing was like Savannah Nights, which has nothing to do with the original.
Supposed to be like a sequel.
Yeah, that was a sequel, not
No.
a
Okay, but this one, but he even goes to the train yard. And he's gonna do that thing.
Well, yeah, I know.
And he's gonna
But just break down
the yellow beetles there. Hey, at least they put a yellow beetle in the movie, not like some Transformers movies, or like it's our main character. I'm just saying,
it mirrors.
I don't know how
the
those two correlate.
it mirrors. I'm sorry, what'd you say? Mirrors the original, and I like
Mirror
that.
Master from
Yeah,
from
I get
Flash.
that.
Okay, I was trying to find something so you can understand it.
I got you. He speaks geek. It's okay. But like, I'm like, this is funny. Like I'm watching, like this looks funny. It's not supposed to be a comedy, but it looks funny.
Accidental funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I love that it's like they're
like Fame.
Yeah, exactly. Like Fame, where they're just like, that's so awesome.
You lost me until the end.
Okay.
And then you got me.
But like
hooked me.
it looks.
You hooked me. I have no idea what happened in the middle, but you hooked me at the
And
end.
you brought me back in.
Well, you know why? Because baby, you're a firework. Come on, show me what you're working.
We're gonna skip that song.
You know what? I think I'm getting out of here. I'm stuck, but I'm about ready to flip the table.
No, this segment's gonna be about movies, and you've seen them, like movies.
You've seen movies
like Thor, Green Lantern, X-Men First Class,
Upcoming.
Airbender Last, Avatar, Last Airbender. Say movies like that. You might see it maybe. No. Okay.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Mr. Popper's Penguins.
That was an image title,
Actually,
right?
he's got a daughter though, so he might have seen Mr. Popper's Penguins, and he has no say in it. You have a kid.
I think his daughter's that young though.
Yeah,
That make him want to see them.
Yeah, Leela wouldn't be like, Dad, let's go see Mr. Popper's
She's not like
Penguins.
5.
I want to see the white guy play with penguins. Can't wait. What? Just because I knew I'd get a smile from him and a little chuckle. Love you, Dixon.
Oh my God! He's racist. Lobster loving.
Well, you missed it earlier. Briston condoned. If you he said he's doing his review for the Rocketeer comic. He's all like, if you like sexy women and cool and scantily clad women and cool costumes and Nazis, pick up this comic. And then I'm like, I turned to Kurosh, and he's done. I'm like, dude, you just said you liked. You like scantily clad women, you like cool costumes, and you like Nazis. Are you trying to sell the book or what?
You like seeing Nazis get their asses kicked or something.
Yes, but you left that part out. That last part is very important to that comment.
Little here goes a long way.
Oh yeah, that's why we had to reshoot.
I was almost tempted not to say anything at all, just so we can end up putting it on the air.
No.
The only problem is he edits it, so we can't edit it in the bottom. Loves Nazis. And then from then on,
actually, if Kurosh can get a hold of it and send it to me, then I can do it.
Still rolling.
Okay.
We could do this for 8 minutes.
Welcome back to the Comic Core. Of course, you know me. I'm Ken Rollo.
Victor.
Kurosh.
Briston.
Loves Nazis.
And I'm Eric.
Eric, our buddy here.
This week we have Eric Putman with us. We're doing some reviews on our favorite comic book movies. Well, I shouldn't say favorite, because let's get to that in a minute. But comic book movies of the year so far. And Eric here's here to give us the man off the street idea.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, Victor, you want to start things off? What do you think with all this stuff going on? We got what? We got.
Well,
Green Lantern?
let's start just timeline wise. Let's go ahead and go with the first one of this year.
What was the first one this
Thor.
year?
Thor. Thor. Be the
Thor
first one
started
that
off
this
day before Free Comic Book Day. We had Thor.
That's
and-
right.
There you go. For Free Comic Book Day,
Yeah.
which hopefully you guys all went out and went to your comic shops, got free comics.
Cool swag.
Thor was pretty cool, I thought. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I thought Thor was really well done. I mean, it's one of those movies where you go in thinking like, are they gonna do it right, or are they gonna be too? Are they gonna try like make it too educational, too high up there with the language and stuff
I
like
think they
that?
got the right guy though. Keith Brannigan, he does a lot of like Shakespeare.
Oh no, yeah,
movies,
he was
so-
perfect
the director.
because
Yeah.
all his movies don't. They, it's not like he's dumbing it down, but he does it in a way where you can make sense of what they're telling you the whole
It's
time.
accessible to everybody.
Yeah.
yeah. I really like the chemistry between Thor, his father Odin, and Loki, especially.
Yeah.
Loki, I thought
Loki
was like.
like
Very
just you
sympathetic.
like I liked Loki a lot in that.
I almost sympathized with him more than I did with Thor. I was like, why does Thor get a second chance and Loki kind of just gets like thrown in
He's
the
a frost
side?
giant.
Right.
That just can't tell you. You should always know that there's some kind of some segregated part out there. You're just okay with just like letting them.
You know what? I don't stand
Like
for that. I
frost
stand
giants.
for equality.
Even for frost
Oh,
giants.
even with dairy,
Yeah, even dairy, huh?
Dairy
I-
is
I-
where I draw the line.
you're
Uh-huh.
intolerant of
See?
dairy.
So then maybe you shouldn't speak up so fast, there, buddy. Okay, I'm just saying. You draw the line. You can't like tiptoe across it whenever you want. Dairy, no.
I think I can actually, and I just did.
Well, then your initial comment is totally
It's
void
still
if
valid.
you do. No, it's not. You're
can't
intolerant of
give or
dairy.
You know, Frost Giants actually started ice cream, which has dairy in them.
They
The
also
original
have
Dairy
slushies.
Queen was a Frost Giant enterprise.
Also, have
That's where the
slushies,
franchise started.
which is just ice and flavoring,
Right,
Which
that's
is just as good.
That's fine.
Gelato
Gelato.
uses dairy.
Eggs and cream.
I will get back to you. But going back to Thor,
Back to Thor. I easily said 4 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. The reason probably it wasn't a 5 for me was that I don't care about Thor so much. He's not a character I've always been interested in. I care about certain power level characters. He's not one that's been one of my top characters through the years.
if anything, for me personally, I thought it kind of pushed it more. Like it brought him into the fandom that the appeal of him. I was actually more interested in what goes on with Thor in comics.
It did do what a lot of comic book movies set out to do, especially the Marvel ones now, is to kind of bring readers in. And I felt Thor did a good job at that. I'm not a big Thor reader, but I did find myself picking up a few more Thor books than I usually do.
I think the only iffy thing I had to say about it was like the edit, like the pacing of it. I don't know why. For some reason, it was like fast in some parts, and then it slowed down a lot, and then it kind of picks up slow. I don't know why. It felt like a little wonky to me. That's like I'm the same thing with Ken.
A little
I give
flippy floppy.
I give it a 4 out of 5, but it was too slow for me at points. But it was a good origin story at least, and I would like to see a sequel.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it because I actually don't know a lot about Thor, and so I have read a little bit, but it was good to see that it came to the mainstream. Is what it really did. It brought it to the mainstream so that people that haven't read it would actually come in the shop and pick it up and buy it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. That was one of the surprises. I was interested in seeing it, but it wasn't a top list, and when I did, I was surprised. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I saw a lot of fans that weren't really into comics. They enjoyed it just as much as I did. So it catered to all kinds of fans, I thought.
I think next up after that would have been X-Men First Class.
First class.
Great.
And that was, I think expectations were really low after X-Men 3. Most people didn't have any idea. The shots they put out, the stills, were definitely didn't instill any kind of faith in me. I had very little, if any, hope.
Really?
But I guess there's still some there because I'm going to go see it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I have a few little geek problems with it, but otherwise...
Who doesn't?
Right. But, yeah. Thoughts?
Well, honestly, I haven't seen it yet, but I mean, I was probably one of the people that spoke out a lot about X-Men 3, but seeing who they got Vaughn to direct it, which I've actually enjoyed all his movies despite the changes that were done in Kick-Ass. I still enjoyed Kick-Ass a lot with him directing it. The cast, I'm really excited about. I am gonna see it. I'm just waiting for someone to come back so I can see it. But yeah, I'm actually really excited about this movie. I remember going into X-Men 3, I was just not excited at all. This one I actually feel really good about. So
yeah, I had the opposite.
That's my 2 cents.
He dragged me kicking and screaming to see this movie. I thought this is the lowest of low. This would be terrible. It's Fox. It's not gonna work out. But then I throughout the entire movie, it's like, wow, it's really, really well paced. Vaughn did a great job. And then the bromance between I forgot the names. It was
Eric
Fassbinder.
Lynch. yeah,
Eric Lantern.
the character of Magneto and
yeah,
Charles Xavier.
yeah, exactly. They did a really, really good job together. I mean, even though it went a little too far in my opinion at some parts, but like you could tell there was like this
There's a good
chemistry
chemistry between the two of them.
Yeah.
I think, and I mean, the same way too is like a lot of these movies, you're not going them because you want to see them with you. It's a great movie, like for me, Transformers and stuff like that. I think one of the things you do is you go because you want to go see it with your friends.
Yeah, that was one of the big pluses for this.
Well, see, and I was adamant that I was not going to see this movie because
Really?
3, I was just so disappointed in 3 because 1 and 2 were so great, and 2 just brought that bar up.
Yeah.
And then seeing 3, I was wondering why I wasted my time. And when I saw
And then
what they were
Origins.
doing, yeah, and then Origins, God. But then you see this coming, and there was really little to no marketing on it. You know, they didn't. We've talked about
Yeah.
it. No toys, nothing, no
And
merchandise.
what is a
whatsoever.
movie without its toys?
Exactly. Well, with
Nowadays,
Marvel movies,
Shawshank
you know,
Redemption.
anything.
Schindler's
But
List.
they did very little for the marketing of it, and it just seemed I was like Briston, where I refused. These guys went and saw it midnight showing. I didn't end up going, and they were telling me how great it was. And
Yeah, and we said we're gonna go see it again because
We went.
another segment of friends hadn't seen. It's like, no, you're coming along to see it again.
and I
Saw it a
was
second time?
pleasantly surprised. It was really good, and I liked the little tweaks that they did with the Origins. It's definitely not first class,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Just took the
what they
concept.
did with it was really good, and I enjoyed it a lot.
I agree. I mean, I liked, like you said, Victor, Matthew Vaughn. I really liked what he did with Kick-Ass. It wasn't exactly what Kick-Ass was, but what it did was positive. And what he did with X-Men was something I was hoping for. This is the one I was most excited for this summer, and I wasn't let down. In fact, I thought whatever my expectations were, it even raised it. That relationship between Magneto and Charles went into depth, and I love Kevin Bacon's in the movie as well, and he did not disappoint, I think, for
I
me.
think he made the movie for me.
As far as the other characters, all the supporting characters, I thought, there were some minor annoyances, but the rest of it, I mean, was just stand out. It was awesome. It was really good.
I said, the only thing, like I said, the one big thing was with me is that Professor X and Magneto hang out for altogether of a month, and then at the end they're like, we're brothers. And it's like, dude, that we hung out for like a month. Why are we so close? I mean, sometimes you have those times where you just get to know someone and you're like automatically friends. And sometimes you
2
hang with
nights
someone,
in Cabo.
done. But sometimes but it just that's the one part that really threw me off a lot. But still, the storytelling, everything else is good. Script, I'm very happy with. That was I just wish that they had met at least previously during school, because it would have made sense if for some reason that for Eric to try and study genetics at some level, and that's where they paths could have crossed. Before.
And they didn't need Wolverine to really push any kind of publicity or anything, because the last 3 or 4 movies have been Wolverine and the X-Men, more or less.
Yeah.
This one really pushed forward with Charles and Eric, and had the rest of them be supporting. And they had little characters like Scott Summers' brother, Havoc, he was in it, and various other Banshee, and various other characters.
Steve.
So, I mean, I was really happy that all the other mutants that don't get as much spotlight really got a chance to, like, people are like,
Shine.
oh, there are other mutants.
Yeah,
They're not just
I-
Jean Grey and the ones in the cartoon.
I do like that they're throwing, more obscure characters like Darwin and Angel in
Angel,
there.
yeah.
I thought that was really cool. Who played by Lenny Kravitz's daughter, which is, she's smoking. But yeah, I think that's really cool that they're throwing obscure characters like that.
The only other thing I could think of that I really liked about this movie, was different from other comic book movies that I've seen so far. Not just talking about the past two. It was a period piece too. There's not a lot of period piece comic book movies out there. The one off the top of my head is like Rocketeer. That was it.
Yeah.
Other than this was really
Where
well
he's beating
done.
up Nazis.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh,
Not supporting them in
Yeah,
any
he
way.
doesn't
Not
support
Who would
them.
support Nazis?
I think of one person at
Yeah, I
least.
could only think. Well, Hitler's dead. Alive though is
Live, yeah, just the one guy.
Um,
But I don't want to take too much on this. We have time,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we move on to Green Lantern,
Oh,
where I think
man.
it's actually the inverse of X-Men, where it's like it was
had-
the blockbuster where like here's the toys, here's this, here's a mediocre movie. Like that's
it was okay. At best. I mean, I'm being generous when I say that.
Yeah.
I mean, what made it for me was going with friends, and that saved it.
Yeah.
If I went to see this on my own or I had it on the DVD, I don't
What did I
think.
just watch?
Yeah.
It would be pretty much it.
you don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this is like the movie I had the high for Kuroshi had the X-Men. I had this. I was this high for like Green Lantern, and this is what it turned
We
out to
don't
be.
condone
pretty much.
drugs.
Yeah.
Or Nazis.
It's
Going
terrible.
to
Terrible.
movies
Funny.
high doesn't actually help
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
I love being
I
the
mean, you
punching
want to
bag.
see Fear
ladies
and Loathing,
gentlemen.
that's your own thing.
Being a punching bag is very fun.
But
Anyways,
yeah, I mean, what did you think, Eric?
I was coming into this with low expectations, just like X-Men, First Class, and this one actually
This delivered.
ended up being the movie I thought it was going to be. I like Ryan Reynolds as an actor. He's definitely not Hal Jordan in my opinion, and it was mediocre at best.
It was too fast.
Yeah, there was a lot of parts, like we talked about with Kilowog, the training.
Oh,
The
wow.
training
That's
was
right.
like 5 minutes.
When he's like, "Head
you
train
know?
the best," it's like,
Yeah.
dude, we hung out for 10 minutes. What
10
do you-
minutes, what's up?
You beat me.
Yeah.
What's up?
And, to me, the best part was after the small run of credits, there's a little teaser thing that was, to me, was the best part of the whole movie. And it was
But even
5 seconds.
speaking of that, as like what made it cool is just the way it looked. Because
Yeah.
other than that, there was no lead up to that.
No, there wasn't.
You're not giving any understanding of like,
Or
okay,
reason,
how
yeah.
did he get there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
He
that-
didn't have to lose the girl to get the girl. He pretty much had the girl the whole time, and you're just
Yeah.
like, should I get? Yeah, I have her. I
I
don't
don't-
really know if I'll put her on the side.
don't
Come
know
back.
what
I say, I mean, across the board, you've got Hal Ryan Reynolds playing Hal Jordan, which Hal Jordan needs more, not necessarily false bravado, but more bravado. He's got more pride, more strength in himself, not this jokey around guy. Carol Ferris did a good job. She's not the really deep character in the movie. There's not too much for her to portray at this time either, because in the comics it's still very early on where they're doing that character. They had a little bit there, but it wasn't a lot, so I'm not going to fault her for that. Sinestro, very good job there.
Yeah.
I want to see
I
more
want-
of it, but we
I
didn't.
wish more.
Yeah.
Performances for the Guardians was very stone cold. They didn't get enraged or anything like that, which is good for the Guardians. That's fine there. Michael Clark Duncan, again, he had like a 10-minute part. So
I don't know how you guys
Tom
felt
Murray,
about
same
Hector
thing.
Hammond.
Tom Murray.
How do you guys felt? I thought he did a good job, but it was just.
I thought he was funny, but I don't know if it was supposed to be funny. I don't know if it was supposed to be
Eccentric, maybe.
eccentric.
It was kind of creepy funny, and in my
It
opinion,
was,
at
but
least.
it was again, it was too funny to be like it's if he's supposed to be creepy and like overpowering, overbearing, but in this he's more like goofy creepy, and I'm just like that's not like when he
Hi.
says like
Yeah.
hi. Like
How
I
you
don't
doing?
Yeah, you get the creeper vibe, but it's not the same, so it's a little bit different.
And it felt like it was kind of thrown in there. I mean, we had
Yeah.
House Story, which is already there's a whole and then a whole universe to go into, like the whole Owen thing and his boot camp. You had Parallax. You didn't really need
You mean
Hector
the
in
black
this.
dust,
Yeah.
the black cloud?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It wasn't
the-
really Parallax, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah, that's
no
really,
space bug.
Global
Yeah.
warming.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I think the one thing that bugged me the most about this is just the whole aspect. I'm thinking like First Flight, the DC cartoon, and
Yeah.
I really like that whole aspect that it's taking place in space, it's taking place on O and all that stuff. We get to know more about the core and all that stuff. Here it's just we go to O 10 minutes, we come back to Earth. We don't need this.
Yeah, let him go away for a while. Be gone for some time. Maybe Carol starts like, wow, he just left me. Feels abandoned, comes back. Then there's some chemistry to work
Right.
with,
Mhm.
and then deal with earthly troubles. You know, have stuff like that. But I don't know.
Uh,
I was mediocre.
Two of my favorite parts though are there's two moments where Hal and Carol start talking,
Mhm.
and you forget that Pie-Face Kimura is still over in the shot.
I remember-
He's like, I'm still here. Like they just start talking. They have this close moment, and there's still their friend over in the room on the side, and like you forget that. I'm like, what? They're just forgetting that dude over there. Like it's kind of awkward for him. He's just going, I'm gonna leave
I'm the
now.
third wheel.
Yeah. For movies that are still coming out, we have what? We have Captain America,
Transformers.
Transformers. Somewhat is you can
Yeah.
consider that in our mainstay.
I don't know, Cowboys and Aliens. You want to throw that out
Cowboys and
there?
Aliens,
It
yeah.
is a comic book movie, yeah.
Which you guys looking forward to any of these?
Looking forward to Cap because I always like WW2 stuff. I don't like Nazis though. That's my thing. I'm on the side of Cap, not of Red Skull. Other people might be on the other side. I understand. But no, I mean there's parts of it that like there's certain things that look cool. Like I love like from the previews, you've seen the little pod he gets into. It looks very stylized and for the
Yeah.
times. Whereas other stuff like the Hydra agents look like they're straight out of current day military, and the Cap suit bothers me because it is more modern day fabrication. There are parts that I still like, but it's like it looks. I was talking with Victor when we saw the trailer for it. It looks kind of like Sky Captain, and that's the kind
That's
of
stretch.
the like the
No,
visuals.
the style and
The style of visuals.
Oh,
that's-
okay,
I was
That
thinking-
stuff as opposed to looking like Saving Private Ryan. That's what I was hoping. I was looking for more true to history
and
style.
but
of,
the
like Saving
the
Private
problem
Ryan, Band of
with
Brothers.
that though is that you're dealing with a commercial property like Captain America, and you can't do a Saving Private Ryan with that character.
Yeah.
Well,
As awesome and phenomenal as it would be, we just can't. You can't market something
It's
like
kind
that.
of funny
true.
though because we're dealing with this kind of situation though, so it's kind of weird. You're marketing war, so it's just
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like with Sky Captain.
Well,
everything
not
was very-
directly.
Well, I know,
not
but
like the
still.
Nazis.
Yeah.
funny.
Everything was very like it almost clean and very very. It's hard to, but like the sleekness of all the shots you see in the trailer seem to me that they seem to be reminiscent of Sky Captain and some of those designs.
Yeah.
As
the director, I believe,
Joe Johnson.
Joe Johnson, he did Rocketeer.
Mhm.
Am I right?
Yeah.
The Rocketeer. I got a lot of the Rocketeer kind of vibe, like the
Yeah.
way the Nazis are portrayed
As evil.
like bad guys, right?
as bad guys. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean,
Not good guys.
no,
Yeah.
not good
Just
guys.
saying, Versus
And
those
I
Nazis.
did. That's the way I saw that sleekness. The same
They'll never
that
let
you
me
guys
go
saw.
with this, guys.
I can see your point with the Sky Captain, but I'm going more towards that it's like you get the 1940s kind of Rocketeer.
My opinion again. I think they got the wrong actor.
Really?
Because I
definitely
Johnny
agree.
Storm. Why is Johnny Storm suddenly in the Captain America suit?
It's
You know?
I mean it's sort of similar to the Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern thing. It's
Right.
not to that extent,
Right.
but I could definitely see that. I mean you have an actor Chris Evans who typically kind of plays the same type of role over and over again. And don't get me wrong, those are good roles. I actually enjoy him in those roles. I thought he was perfect as Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
But Steve Rogers is definitely not the role that I would imagine him playing at all.
Other than that, if it's gonna be a good World War II movie, because like everybody else here, World War II movies are great. Killing Nazis.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
Don't try and turn around again.
It's good stuff, but I have a feeling I'm gonna have an issue trying to get past that with Chris Evans being Captain America. But I'll see it.
Transformers just seems like more Transformers movies. So
Michael Bay.
It's gonna have an awesome soundtrack though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I give you that.
Yeah.
That's
Explosions.
One part that
guaranteed.
bothers me is like in the trailers you always see if you speak at this you'll be tried for free. It's like, bitch, I saved the world
Twice, not once.
What's up now?
But twice.
Like that
Yeah.
part's bothers me. Cowboys and Aliens. I haven't read the original material, and from what I hear, I've heard some stuff that's not that great. I've heard it's going to be okay, but I mean, it's got Harrison Ford, and it's got
Michael Craig.
Sam Rockwell. Too.
Olivia
Michael
Wilde, people.
Michael Craig.
Olivia Wilde.
It's gonna be a fun movie.
No, you like dudes. It's cool.
Hey, sometimes when they're handsome enough,
You get what you can take. I understand.
you take it.
That's true. That's true. Look at the guys that show up next to me.
Yeah, yeah.
You see, so that's our thoughts on movies for now. We'll be back in just a minute.
See you guys.
After these messages, we'll be right
Back.
And you have been chosen for the call.
Cool beans.
Oh.
Do I have to pay anything? How's the dental plan? Yippee!
That was good.